Hello everyone. Today I would like to show you how to make one of the most classic pastry sauces of all time. It is Crème Anglaise, translation from French into English cream. And what goes into English cream, or Crème Anglaise, is 8 ounces of liquid, in our case heavy cream, 3 egg yolks, and a little bit of sugar, about 3 tablespoons of sugar, as well as our flavoring. In our case, it is a fresh vanilla bean. Now, you might be interested, or you may not, but I found out recently that crème anglaise and crème brûlée is the same ratio of ingredients: 8 ounces, 3 yolks to 3 tablespoons of sugar, cooked in 2 different ways. One gets stove-topped, cooked, stirred in the pot, which is the crème anglaise, and the crème brûlée is the same ratios, but it gets cooked in a bain-marie, in a water bath, in the oven. And the cool thing about both those recipes is they share the ratios of ingredients, which opens up, the need to carry less recipes in your head, because now you know a ratio. So without further ado, let's get started with crème anglaise. 8 ounces of cream, pre-measured. For this, you should be using the best dairy you can find. Here in BC, we are lucky to have the Dutchman Dairy out of Sycamoose, and I will be using them today. Vanilla bean. Take out a knife. Let me show you. Take out a knife, split it in half. And just smell all those wonderful aromas. Now, take that same knife and extract all the beautiful vanilla seeds. I hope you can see them. Into the pot they go. Now I'm doing the same thing on the other side. I'm extracting all those beautiful vanilla seeds. They're quintessential flavor ingredient for cream, for English cream. Now, this is a very classic version. You can also do this caramel, tonka bean, citrus flavored, but in our case, we're going straight vanilla, absolutely delicious. Our next task, while the cream is steeping or coming up in temperature, is to separate 3 eggs. And we're only going to use the yolks for this recipe. Alright. Okay, so I've separated my eggs into yolks and whites. Whites can go and be saved for something else. Meringues, cakes, financier. Cake gets made with egg whites only, but there's a few uses that we can. Omelets, stir them into eggs. But for this, we're gonna lightly whisk our eggs to break up the yolks. Then add our sugar. And you just want to get them till they're light, fluffy, and pale. And that means all the egg yolk has been equally distributed into the sugar. It's been fully broken down, so there's no chunks of yolk and chunks of sugar. They all have become one. And that will make our cooking process of the custard itself a lot easier. So this is our base. The base is going to thicken our cream and sweeten it, by the way. So as our cream comes to a light poaching temperature, not quite boiling, but we want to make sure some steam is rising, it's hot, infused with cream. Let's talk about some of the uses for crème anglaise. Traditionally, it is served as a sauce. You can put it on scones, you can put it on cakes, desserts, pastries. You can, I suppose it could be a good base for a milkshake even, although that would be very rich milkshake, but it still would be very delicious. if you have a ice cream machine, you can churn this English cream into vanilla ice cream, which is so cool. Other uses, like I said, by changing up the technique and setting these in ramekins, you can make crème brûlées out of them. Torch the top with sugar and voila, very easy dessert. Other desserts and variations include whipping a little bit of mousse of whipped cream into this finished crème anglaise, setting it with a little bit of gelatin, and now you have a cream for a tart or a cake. Also, you can add a little bit of cornstarch or flour into the base, up the sugar a little bit, up the salt a pinch, and you can have very delicious pastry cream, which is of course stable due to inclusion of starch. So this is a very cool sauce, a few tweaks and variations, and you have totally different texture, different flavor, different consistency, as the case with crème anglaise, crème brûlée, and ice cream, for example. Now, my cream got away on me here a little bit. It came to a light boil, if you have noticed. That's okay. So the most important is it didn't go over. So now, this is what we call tempering. You add a little bit of cream to your eggs initially to bring them together in temperature, closer together, but gently. Another little splash. Whisk, splash, whisk. One more splash, whisk, final splash. Whisk, 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 whisk. That brings up the temperature of the eggs without scorching it. Okay, now I'm gonna show you how we cook it. Now I've added my cream back into the pot, and I've turned my pot onto low temperature. And our goal here is to cook it while constantly stirring. You want to bring this up to about 82 degrees Celsius. Feel free and use a thermometer. But as you can see, the temperature of the pan has brought up the cream a little bit, and it's quite viscous all of a sudden. That is our crème brûlée. I reckon because I'm working with such a small amount, it is already at 82 degrees Celsius. One good way of checking whether your crème anglaise is ready or not is to dip a spoon and run your finger through it. That is a beautiful cream. Now that we've finished cooking it, we are good to strain it. Once again, the spatula is going to come in very handy. And you'll be able to get all of the stuff out. Squeeze all of the beautiful vanilla beans into it. And just like that, this is our stirred custard, aka crème anglaise, aka English cream. Now, to turn this into ice cream, we chill this thoroughly, preferably overnight, and use it in our churner, our ice cream maker. 20 minutes later, you get a beautiful fresh vanilla ice cream. Otherwise, you can put this on scones, tarts, next to berries, on fruit. The uses are absolutely infinite. It's delicious, stunning. Give it a try. And remember, 8 ounces of cream, 3 yolks, 45 grams of sugar, or 3 tablespoons. equals crème brûlée, crème anglaise, and ice cream, depending on how you cook those ingredients. Bain-marie, stovetop, churned or turned into ice cream. Very simple, easy to remember, and bon appetit.